From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We're starting to see some cracks in that cloud cover this morning, and thankfully most of the worst of the fog has also left the area. Now this is going to be kind of like a hard-boiled egg. Once you get a few cracks in the cloud cover, all of it's going to peel away, and then we'll be left with sunshine for the rest of today. Even our radar shows us that we don't have much left, and when you look to our west, there's nothing to replace it. We're going to be seeing plenty of sunshine in our forecast, and with it, some warming temperatures. We'll take a look at that temperature trend coming up as 6 News at Noon begins.
WMMS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at Noon.
President Trump speaks with both Putin and Zelensky ahead of that highly anticipated meeting on Friday. It is our top story at noon. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kirk Montgomery. The White House acknowledged that the Putin-Trump meeting will not result in any proposal for peace. But the president says he wants to determine if Russia would consider such a proposal. The president also scheduled to be on hand as new honorees of the Kennedy Center are announced later today. Torian Small with the latest now from Washington.
President Trump arrived at the Kennedy Center to be on hand for the announcement of this year's honorees. Trump has already led an overhaul of the Kennedy Center's leadership and taken a strong interest in shaping the direction of the Performing Arts Center. The stop comes ahead of his meeting set for Friday with Russian President Vladimir Putin at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson, just outside Anchorage, Alaska. This morning, Trump spoke again with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and European allies.
We continue to be very much engaged with President Zelensky and the Ukrainians, but also our allies in Europe as well.
The White House said the Trump-Putin meeting will not end with deliverables, instead calling it a first step of what could be an eventual peace deal between Russia and Ukraine.
He hopes in the future there can be a trilateral meeting with these three leaders to finally bring this conflict to an end.
Zelensky told reporters he supports the Trump meeting, but added on social media, quote, "There is no sign that the Russians are preparing to end the war." Russia's foreign minister says the only way to end the war is for Russia to retain the Ukrainian land it's gained in the fighting, something Zelensky says goes against his country's constitution. Torian Small, CBS News, the White House.
We're working to learn more today about a deadly house fire in Lansing. The fire started yesterday afternoon inside a home on Continental Drive, which is near Averill Elementary School. When fire crews arrived on scene, they learned that someone was still inside. Fire officials tell 6 News they got to the home within 3 minutes of the initial call, and already it was filled with flames. They worked quickly to try to get that fire under control and rescue the person inside. However, they died at the scene. Now investigators are trying to figure out how that fire started in the first place. In Jackson, police continue their search today for the man who they believe shot and killed 18-year-old Mia Sims. This comes as the department warns of several rumors circulating online claiming that he's been taken into custody. Antonio Trayvon Green was charged with second-degree murder more than a week after Mia Sims was killed outside of her church on July 27th. 6 News has learned Sims is the niece of Jackson Mayor Daniel Mahoney, who says she went outside to get pancakes her grandmother made for her when she was shot. Despite rumors of a suspect in police custody on social media, police say the suspect, Antonio Green, is still at large. The motive for the shooting is still unclear. Anyone who may know Green's whereabouts is asked to contact Jackson Police or Crime Stoppers at 483-STOP. And remember, you can remain anonymous. A fundraising consultant soliciting funds for Michigan My Michigan was sentenced today after pleading guilty to providing a false statement during the Unlock Michigan campaign finance investigation. 65-year-old Sandra Baxter admitted in court during an examination under oath conducted by a Department of Attorney General investigator that she knowingly and willfully made a false or misleading statement regarding a material fact in the Unlock Michigan criminal investigation. Today, she learned how she would pay for that act.
You are put on a probationary period for 90 days for the purpose of allowing you a period of time to complete 20 hours of community service and to complete your obligation, then I'm going to order to pay the maximum fine under the statute of $2,500. So that'll be essentially for the purposes of supervision to complete those obligations.
Attorney General Nessel said, quote, "This plea makes clear that those who attempt to deceive investigators will be held accountable. My office remains committed to uncovering the truth and prosecuting individuals who obstruct justice," end quote. The 79th annual DeWitt Ox Roast starts this Friday, and downtown road closures are set up to start today in preparation. The city of DeWitt will shut down Bridge Street between Jefferson and Washington starting at 7 o'clock tonight. Jefferson and Main Streets also will close between Scott and Franklin. It's so crews can start setting up for the annual celebration, which features an art festival, carnival, and a lot more. The Ox Roast runs Friday through Sunday. And happening now, the city of Jackson hosting its final event of the Summer Safety Series, in which the police and the fire departments team up to serve the community. Today's event is at Kiwanis Park. It started just a few minutes ago and runs until 1:30. Once a month during the summer, the city invites community members to a park for a fun day focused on safety. Police are there cooking up free hot dogs, and firefighters will be on hand to check your blood pressure or help you sign up for a free smoke detector installation. There's also games, safety information, and a raffle.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Going from the morning into the afternoon, we're seeing temperatures that are in the mid-70s. Still pretty comfortable outside, even if the clouds are sticking around. We are starting to see a few cracks in that cloud cover, though, and eventually we'll be back to blue skies. It's just going to take a little bit longer. And all of it's better than what we had yesterday. Showers and storms swept across the area. Some spots seeing heavier rainfall totals than others. Looks like radar estimated rainfall totals of around 1.5 inches or higher were located near Howell, Hastings, and down towards Marshall. Here in Lansing, we only picked up around 0.3 of an inch of rain, though, so it wasn't all that spread out. Now our radar is dry, and we're just getting rid of the last of that cloud cover that's still in the area. Temperatures already warming up more towards our west, where those clouds have begun to clear, sitting at 81 in Hastings. Now these temperatures are going to continue to climb until we get into the mid-80s later this afternoon, heading into the early evening. And that's really driven by the sunshine. It'll be back once these clouds begin to break apart, and then as we head into the overnight hours, we'll still be seeing some of that cloud cover hovering around. As for the UV index, it'll jump up to an 8 when the sunshine emerges, so remember that sunburn time is just about 20 minutes still. Don't want to get too many sunburns. You got to take care of your skin. Then you can go out overnight and not have to worry about it. Tonight, the Perseid meteor shower really picking up. You should have okay viewing for that too. Well, partly cloudy skies, a few clouds mixing in from time to time with temperatures dropping into the low 60s. It'll be a nice night to open up the windows, get some fresh air in. We're decreasing that mugginess, and we don't have to really worry about wildfire smoke this time. So it's a nice change up from what we had from the last cool down. Then tomorrow, high temperatures stay in the low 80s. That'll be with mostly sunny skies and pretty much a 5 to 10 mile-an-hour breeze. So really nice forecast for our day on Thursday. And the humidity, like I said, not going to be as bad. It will start to trek back up towards that humid category for the weekend, though, and eventually, you know what's going to happen. We're going to warm up. Warmer air can hold more moisture, so that explains that mugginess going up. Highs near 90 are expected on Saturday. Could even be near 90 again on Sunday, but watch as it drops back down for Monday. We're still seeing some cold front action moving towards us, which not only will give us cooler air, but it'll also give us some more chances for rain. Looking at the overall pattern, you can see that cooler air dipping down towards the Great Lakes just for the next few days. It goes away quickly though, and that warm air forces itself back up towards Canada, and that gives us plenty of mugginess too. The overall pattern for the end of next week though is more optimistic. It does show that we'll have closer to normal temperatures, which this time of year are in the low 80s for mid-Michigan. That would be a nice break. The 6-day forecast, though, shows that we aren't going to be seeing that for this weekend, unfortunately. We're actually going to be seeing some warmer temperatures still in play. And on the 6th day, we'll have those scattered storms returning with the cold front. As for what we're seeing with that storm activity, right now it just looks like we're going to have some storms, and those are going to be moving towards us just in time to start next week. Now, we could use more rain, especially after this 4-day stretch where nothing is happening. We want to make sure that we continue to replenish that moisture level in the soil just to stave off any drought conditions. Now, in the overnight hours, I think that's probably the best part of this forecast because we are cooling into the low 60s. You can turn off the AC, turn off the fans, save a little money on that electric bill, and just let that cooler air in through an open window. It's really quite refreshing, especially when you don't have that sunshine beating down on you.
Right. And so tonight, pretty good for the meteors, you think?
I'm thinking it's pretty good. The cloud cover, it's coming and going, so you'll find windows.
And you want to stay away from the city lights. Try and get out in the country if possible.
Light pollution is the worst when you're trying to see meteors. So just find something out in the country. Maybe
They're
a nice
very
little
cool.
field.
They're very cool if you see them.
Yeah,
So,
they're
all right.
gorgeous.
Thanks, Katie. All right.